my negative self-talk is endless. It is endless. It is on an endless conveyor belt of pain. It is like a fucking, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say fuck. It is like a frickin' hamster wheel. And I'm a very sad hamster.
It's this sense of you're not enough. You're not talented enough. You're not skilled enough. You're not strong enough. You know, you're not attractive enough.
For sure, it tells me that like the stuff I'm writing is dumb and bad. I mean, like just at a core level.
That my disability is not ever gonna get better, and so I keep telling myself that I am just stuck where I am, and I'm not gonna be able to move forward past it.
People don't really care about me, like, because I know everyone's human, and at times people will forget about others, and just like small little things like, oh, leaving somebody behind and forgetting to tell them where you are. And a lot of times I let those things like fester in my head, and it builds into this idea that like everyone hates me and no one would really care if I'm there, and I really have to talk myself out from that because I know that's not true. Like, people tell me all the time that's not true.
I think Instagram is a super unhealthy place for me, and sometimes I have to like force myself to like it's my instinct to just like open it, and sometimes I'll literally be like, no, you cannot look at Instagram right now, because like it's just comparing myself to other people, other artists that I feel like are doing more than me. And I'm like, oh, like why don't I have that? Why aren't I doing what they're doing?
Sometimes I picture this other version of myself in my head, and she's like doing better. It's like, oh, if you could just be that version of you, oh, you'd be, oh, if you had just done that today, alternate Katherine would have done that today. It really comes down to you're not worthy of love. You're not worthy of happiness.
My brain tells me that I'm a horrible person, that I don't deserve to be loved, that I'm not enough, that everyone would be better off without me. That's a big one.
It's easier to, say life isn't fair. It's easier to look at other people's lives and wish they were mine. But alas, I am pretty lucky to live the life I live, in that I am pretty healthy otherwise. I have 4 working limbs. And as funny as that might sound, it's something I have to remind myself. Even though I can't see, I can walk and talk pretty well. And so I think it's a privilege that I need to remind myself to use for better. And it's a privilege that I have.
Like, the feeling of rejection is, as I'm sure many people know, can be tremendously difficult, especially if you feel really strongly about someone and for whatever reason it's just not reciprocated, or something's just not there. And in those moments, especially throughout my life, those have been the ones where it's like, oh, there must be something wrong with me. And sorry if I cry. But you have to realize that it's like, it's not you. I think life just, sometimes things just don't work out how you expect them to, and that's okay.
To fight that anxious feeling of like I'm not good enough, the person that I'm looking at, whoever's picture it is, that I'm like, God, I wish I could do that, I will look at it, and instead of sending like negative emotions to that person, I will literally sit there and like send them love and be like, I'll like their picture and I'll be like, yes, I'm happy for that person, like good for them. And I'll try to like do that eat, pray, love thing where they're like, send them love and light and then drop it.
I don't
tend to deal with emotions in an emotional way. So I like to separate my feelings from things, and attack the problem more analytically.
I document a lot of stuff, so I document all the pictures I have with friends, or fun text messages, and I write down everything, and so I get to actually physically go back and be like, no, this is what happened the other day. And people don't hate you, like maybe they're just frustrated about something, or maybe you're just not this person's cup of tea.
I try to name it. Like, that's the biggest thing I do. I think I try to like identify exactly what's going on. So like I'll have like let's say like a song that I wrote one time was about like being at this like music festival and like seeing somebody that I used to date and like running into them and having like all this intense like fear and anxiety about like how it was gonna go and what everything was. And I think naming that for me, like recognizing it as like, this is just like, I'm just having anxiety. And like it's totally okay to have it.
Someday they'll throw my broken body in the bed, but for now